It's 2024 and being a young female founder still can be hard at times. So today in this video I would like to talk about a topic that it's very difficult for me to talk about because I feel I'm already in minority as an entrepreneur, as a young founder. Basically also as a woman, I experienced lots of things for the past year that I wanted to share with. The purpose of this video is definitely not to complain or just say, oh, how hard it is, but maybe for people who are found themselves in these situations, for them to be able to perceive what is going on in that moment and to react faster. For women, maybe men, like also young entrepreneurs. So yeah, let's dive into it. As you can see, I'm quite nervous. I'm Alina. I'm a founder of a Retalent Agency. It's a remote recruitment agency and I founded it 5 years ago. So since then, I visited lots of conferences, went to many events for entrepreneurs. And last year, I went to the most amount of events in my whole life, even though I had like a small baby. But that's something that I felt like I need to do for my business, to push it and to continue growing and scaling. But also, of course, I learned a lot. But there were some moments when I felt super uncomfortable. And the first one that I found that still in 21st century, I can experience sexism and ageism, which was quite shocking because I'm in Europe. I felt like it doesn't exist that much anymore, but yeah, that could happen when people get a bit too comfortable, I feel, or maybe tipsy on the conferences. Maybe sometimes just they're awkward, they don't know how to talk to people, or just like that. Maybe some people are just like that. I don't know. I'm trying to find the reason. But okay, basically the first thing that I faced with is sexism. Sometimes when I was introducing myself, people could say something like, oh, you also have a business. Like also like what? Like everyone here in the audience, 200 entrepreneurs with online businesses? Yes. I have a badge that is written founder, and so often people would think that I'm an organizer of the event, like that I'm working there, and it was quite awkward, like nope. Of course, it is was happening, thanks God, rarely, otherwise I wouldn't go to 7 different conferences last year, but it was happening. And the second thing that I faced with is ageism, when people say, oh, you're so young, how come you have a business? Actually, when they were finding out that I have almost 2 babies, they were like, oh, okay, maybe you're not that young, you just look young. And so I'm like, why would you even comment on someone's age? You don't even know the person. So I feel like if you ever done it, that's really important not to commit such a mistake, because when you are having a small talk with the person, you definitely don't want to comment on their looks, age, gender. So obviously, I don't know even why I'm saying it, but it feels like for some people it's still not clear. Another thing that I wanted to dive deeper into after I had this kind of situations in the conferences is why at all there are so little female founders. And I realized that actually I need to, first of all, have more conversations with female founders and figure out like what is driving them, how they became an entrepreneur, and understand them better, because I myself was very disconnected. So all my clients are male at that moment, like things got, actually last year was like very good, and we got 3 to 5 female founders who became our clients. But before that, 90%, I was even targeting in ads, I was targeting male sometimes. So I'm feeling it in myself, so I didn't pay enough attention. I wanted to dive deeper into this topic, why there are so little leaders in this, in the business world in general, why we are still in minority, why we are not equal. And so one book that helped me a lot is Lean In by the CEO of Facebook. Basically, she is talking about different things that affect the leadership of the woman, why we sometimes afraid to speak up, why often the women don't ask questions if there are lots of men in the audience, and so on and so forth. Why women in general don't become leaders, why it's more rare. And I love the book. I absolutely recommend to read it to everyone, not only to female founders, but everyone. I found it very impressive and interesting to read because it includes lots of research plus her own personal story. So I found it amazing, so I really recommend it. So as I mentioned, there are both external and internal factors that affect women to become leaders. And from external factors, what I personally experienced last year is that sometimes, let's call it positive discrimination, when there are quotas for women to speak on the conferences, when they accept women to the different entrepreneurial communities easier than male. I feel sometimes it's actually important, when before I was feeling like really weird about it. So I will tell you one story that happened to me. In the beginning of last year, I decided that I want to speak on a couple of conferences. I had no idea where do I start from. Like, I want to talk about hiring, I want to share my knowledge, but I'm extremely afraid of public speaking. And I realized that it's just so difficult to get a gig, when you never had experience before. So you can't present here's my presentation, you can check my videos. I had none of that. And so it was amazing when actually I was a little bit pushed by the organizers of the events. Maybe I was invited to speak, and it was really out of my comfort zone, but at the same time made me grow faster as a speaker, and I now can express my thoughts way clearer. So what I can say for example, what happened to me is that one day organizers of the event that I was going to, baby bathwater in Croatia, reached out to me and said hey, you were chosen. I don't remember what exactly they wrote, but I'm gonna leave my email here. You were chosen to speak on this topic with this co-presenter. You guys need to figure out how's your presentation gonna be. Please send us all the details of your presentation. And I was like, okay. I don't know if I was chosen because I'm a woman or because I was just one of the people who could speak about hiring and didn't speak before, and I was new into the community. But I'm really, really thankful for this kind of opportunities. I feel that it has to be done more, especially to people in a minority who might be feeling not that comfortable to speak up at points, at different moments of the conferences, and in general might be shy. So of course the organizers didn't know all that because they never met me. We didn't have so much connection yet, but still, I think that's very important. So in the end of this video, I would really love to ask you to put a like and subscribe. I don't do it just because I feel like, okay, everyone are doing it, okay, because I actually feel that it's helping. That's how algorithms work, so please do it. And I would be really happy because it takes only 10 seconds. And if you like this video, I would definitely like to answer some of your questions below. So if you have any questions related to the situation, maybe you had yourself some uncomfortable situations that you weren't sure how to react on, so I would love to discuss it as well. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.